Hi, everybody. So it's actually Friday afternoon of Memorial Day weekend. And it seems like we had our summer the past 2 weeks and now we're back to winter. No, it'll only be here for a couple of days, but I know it's having me get down. So I wanted to do a workshop where I thought we could kind of restore some strength and confidence in ourselves. And also, in addition to kind of doing a confidence building pose and working hard at it, just kind of stretching ourselves out for the next 20, 30 minutes or so in this workshop. So let's start off in a tabletop pose as I usually do. I'm boring like that, sorry about that. Let's inhale as we look up at the ceiling and exhale down at the navel. And inhale, looking up and exhale, looking down. And then coming to a neutral spine. We'll take our right foot between our hands, coming into a low lunge here. We'll inhale as our arms come up overhead, stretching into our abdomen. So I still have had a lot of abdominal tightness and still pain since my surgery. So I like to get a real nice stretch in that lower abdomen. So inhaling here and exhaling, planting the palm. We're going to straighten that right leg, deep stretch in that hamstring, folding over that knee. Bending the right knee, bringing it back into a tabletop. Left foot comes between the hands and arms come up, sinking into that right hip and that lower abdomen. And inhaling here and exhaling. And then planting the palms, straightening that left leg, stretching that hamstring out. Noticing any areas of tightness. So I feel really stiff and tight today. I think it's my body's kind of protesting against the 50 degrees. So then bending that left knee, coming back into a tabletop. From here, we'll tuck those back toes under and come into a downward facing dog, pedaling the legs out. On an inhale, bringing the right leg up, bend the knee, open the hip, making some hip circles in one direction. And then making the circles in the other direction. Kicking that right leg straight back behind you, inhaling here. And exhale that right foot between the hands. We're going to come to a high lunge. Inhaling here. And exhale, interlacing the hands, base of the spine, left heel comes down. Taking a back bend, coming into that humble warrior. Arms up overhead, deep stretch in the shoulders. And that right hamstring, inhaling here. Now exhaling slowly, the arms come up overhead. Palms come down. Straightening that right leg, left foot in, coming into a pyramid. So lots of lengthening here before we get into our more difficult workshop pose today. Bending the right knee, coming to a three-legged down dog. Inhale, three-legged plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Both legs meet in up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg comes up on an inhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Hip circles in one direction. And then reversing the direction. Kicking that left leg straight back behind you. Inhaling here. And exhale the left foot between the hands, coming into your high lunge. Inhaling here. Exhale, interlacing the hands, base of the spine, right heel comes down, and folding over the inside of the left knee. And then both arms come up overhead, inhaling here. Exhale, planting the palms, straightening the left leg. Then coming into a pyramid pose. And then bending the left knee, coming to a three-legged down dog. Inhale, forward three-legged plank. Exhale, chaturanga, both legs meet in up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog, pedaling the legs out. Now we're gonna come inhaling forward into a plank. So we're just gonna try to warm up our core here because our pose is gonna be an arm balance. We're gonna come into hasta vakrasana today. 8-pointed balance, and try to come from hasta vakrasana to ekapada koundinyasana. So you're holding plank here and back into hasta vakrasana. Now you're not expected to do the whole thing. It's just something fun to play around with and build some core strength. So we're still in plank pose here, engaging our core. And then we'll come back to a downward facing dog. So we're going to inhale again, coming forward into a plank, this time coming down to your forearms. So in a forearm plank, engaging the core muscles. And lifting both palms into the mat, back into a plank, and back to a downward facing dog. Again, we're going to come into a plank. This time we're going to come into a side plank, leaning onto our right side, left arm comes up. And then coming over onto our left side, the right arm comes up. And doing one more on each side. And then holding plank here. And push up or chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, coming back to a child's pose. So now in order to get into hasta vakrasana, we also have to warm up our hips. So we're going to come into some hip stretches here. So first, we're going to bring shin on top of shin. So the right shin is going to face the front of the mat, left shin over the right shin. You're going to inhale, you can stay here, or if you're ready, you can fold forward. You're going to feel stretches in the outer hips here. Slowly, you're working your way back up. You're going to take your left leg out, your right foot to the inner left thigh, peace fingers around the left big toe, then right arm up overhead, leaning towards that left foot. So real stretch here. And arms up overhead and folding over the left leg. Now to get more into that outer hip, we're going to take our right hand to the outside of the left foot or to the knee. If you have the knee, you're going to bend the knee and bringing that left leg across. So this is going to help us stretch this out before we get into our pose. And then we're going to take the sequence on the other side. So the left shin is going to come on down first, the right shin on top of the left, staying here or maybe folding forward. Slowly coming back up, right leg comes out, left foot to the inner right thigh, right peace fingers around the right big toe, left arm up, then folding over to the right. And then slowly coming up, both arms up overhead here, folding over that right leg. And slowly coming up, left hand to the outside of the right foot and bringing that right leg over to the left. And then slowly bending. So now we're going to start getting into some of our other poses that are going to help us get into hasta vakrasana. We're going to hold our right shin. So we're going to just rock our shin, warming up that right hip joint. And then we're going to take that shin And bringing over our right elbow. And just holding this. Maybe extending that leg out in front, the left leg out in front. Rocking forward and back, just getting some nice movement in that right hip. So this is kind of called an arrow pose. And we're going to release that right leg. We're going to take our left shin and rock the shin from side to side. Again, just getting nice movement in that left leg or left hip. Now maybe extend that right leg out. You're going to bring your left knee over your left shoulder and kind of come into an arrow pose. Just really just loosening up the hips. And then bringing that foot back down. We're going to come back into taking our left shin, rocking it from side to side. This time, we're going to bring the right knee over the right shoulder, and we're going to work on our arms. So we're going to take the right palm to the side of your right hip, left hand to the side of your left hip, and you're going to slowly lift. So that's it for right now, just lifting like that and down. We'll do that 3 times. Lift and down. Last time, lift and down. And then we're going to take that to the other side. So hugging the left shin into the chest, taking that left knee over the left shoulder, left palm by the left side, right palm by the right side. Do the same thing. Lift and lower. So if you notice you're engaging your core, lift and lower. And last time, lift and lower. And that might be it for you today, and that's okay. Now we're going to move forward even more. We're going to try to get into that 8-point balance. You're going to take that right leg, the right shin. You're going to bring that over the right knee, planting that right palm down, planting the left palm down. Toes come together, extending those legs out to the side for your full hasta vakrasana. Your elbows are bent almost like in chaturanga arms. And then slowly you'll come out of that. So that's hasta vakrasana. Now we'll do it on the other side. And we're just hugging the left shin into the chest, taking that left knee over the left elbow, planting the left palm, planting the right palm, left foot on top of right foot. Inhale up. Whoops. And this happens to everybody. Inhaling up and exhale, extending out to the side. Again, you have some chaturanga arms here. And then slowly coming down and just giving yourself a nice wrist stretch. So lots of weight on the wrists when we do arm balances. And then we're going to take this, we're going to transition into, I don't know why the computer makes that noise. The next step, since we're going to be transitioning from hasta vakrasana to ekapada koundinyasana, is to try to work first on that ekapada koundinyasana. So we're going to come into this from a lizard pose. So that right leg is going to come forward. That left leg is going to come back. You're going to tuck that left toe under and coming to your lizard pose on your palms. You're going to inhale here, just rocking forward and back. Doing a nice release in those hips. Then you're going to take that right arm underneath that right leg. You're going to extend the right leg out to the side and extend the left leg up. So you're in ekapada koundinyasana. We're going to do it on the other side. So we're going to take our left foot forward, palms to the inside of the left foot, tucking the right toes under, rocking forward and back. And get now putting that left arm underneath the left knee, extending that left leg out to the side, and slowly rising up, Ekapada Koundinyasana. So now we've done our hasta vakrasana and our Ekapada Koundinyasana. So now we're going to try to put them together. And again, remember, there's no pressure in this at all. So we're going to take our right leg up. Again, rocking it from side to side and taking that right knee on top of the right shoulder. Right palm down, left palm down, lifting up, legs out to the side. So now how do we get to Ekapada Koundinyasana? We have to uncross our legs, bend that left knee, bringing it through, and then go back through. And that's how we get in, and we'll come down from there. So we're just doing it stepwise. We're not going to then go back into hasta vakrasana yet. That'll be next. So now we're going to take it on the other side, hugging that left shin into the chest. You're going to take that left knee over the left shoulder, one palm into the mat, other palm into the mat, feet on top of feet, and out to the side. Now we're going to bend that right knee, bringing it back behind us for Ekapada Koundinyasana. And then we'll come back to a seated position. And we'll just take our wrist stretch here. I like to do this, just basically anything to loosen up those wrists. Lots of work on the wrists here. Maybe even we'll take gorilla pose. Just coming into a forward fold, bringing your palms underneath the balls of your feet, rocking forward and back. And then coming back to a seated position. All right, so now we're going to try to put it all together, coming full circle. Hasta vakrasana, Ekapada Koundinyasana, back to hasta vakrasana. Now, I sometimes can't do this. Or sometimes I can do it on one side and not the other, but we'll all try. So we're gonna hug our right shin into our chest. And we're gonna take that right knee over that right shoulder, palm down, feet up, going to the side. And coming into Ekapada Koundinyasana, left leg comes back behind, giving yourself plenty of space to bring that left leg back through, coming into your hasta vakrasana, and then coming back to a seated position. So it's all about giving yourself enough space. So sometimes even getting out of that chaturanga arm, straightening those elbows enough so you can get that left leg or the leg from behind you back through to hook with the toes to get back into angled pose or hasta vakrasana. So taking it to the left side, so we're going to hug our left shin into our chest, rocking the baby here. Taking that left knee over the left shoulder, right palm down, left palm down, lifting up, hasta vakrasana, coming into Ekapada Koundinyasana, allowing enough space so that right leg can come back around, coming back into hasta vakrasana, and then coming back into a seated position. So that is the sequence. It is a difficult sequence and you're not expected to do it all at once. So now let's take some wrist stretches here. Coming back into a gorilla pose at the back of our mat. Palms directly underneath the balls of our feet. So remember how we broke it down. First warmed up the hips. We just lifted our hips off the ground. Then we went into hasta vakrasana. Then separately we went from lizard to Ekapada Koundinyasana. And then we tried to pull it. We went to hasta vakrasana to ekapada koundinyasana. And then we went full circle and brought it back from ekapada koundinyasana to hasta vakrasana. So you can just play around with any or all of these. Just have fun. Remember to listen to your wrists. If they hurt, take the day off for some arm balances. And we'll all just come into a downward facing dog here. Pedaling the legs out, closing your eyes. And on an inhale, bending knees, gazing forward. Exhale, jumping through into a seated position. So I encourage you to continue your practice or do whatever else makes you feel good today. I hope you had fun in this little mini workshop, and I will see you soon.